Hello and welcome to the Hunt Studio. My name is Hunter. Today we are brought here. I'm on the porch right now. It's actually raining, and I figured now would be a good time to sit here and filter out some thoughts, I suppose. Have some abstract thoughts and speak them into existence, simply to document, I do suppose. What I talk about right now is unplanned. I have no idea what I'm about to start saying, but I'm in a mood. It's raining again, and this soothing sound is just something to behold. It's something worth spending time with. It's worth breaking out my phone, going into the voice recording app, and just talking directly into it. It's nice. And it just got better because the air conditioner just turned off. So maybe you can hear the rain a little bit better, a little smoother. It's yeah, all right. Let's get into it. Today is a Monday. Today's Monday. And I'm here at the apartment, all alone, the way I like it sometimes, all by myself. And I feel good. I feel really, really good right now. I feel kind of like I'm on cloud 9 even. The last, we'll call it a month. The last month has been eye-opening, life-changing even. For me, I've had a lot go on. A lot of things have changed. A lot of things have happened. And I won't go too in depth of the personal details that involve other people, because a lot of it involves other people. But I will go into some extensive detail, I suppose, about things on my end. I've been soul searching here recently. The last, we'll say since April. So spring on into the summer. And now here we are into the winter. Been searching for some sort of answer. Some sort of like the question, the all-encompassing, the heaviest question of all is, what's the meaning of life? What's the point? Why are we here? What is your destination? What are you supposed to be doing while you're here on this planet? That's been a very heavy question for me very, very recently. And I've kind of come... It's something that at first struck fear into my heart and into my eyes. Because I didn't have the answer. I didn't have it scared me to even think about it. What's the point? Well, at the time of me conjuring up this thought, at first I felt like there was no point. But of course, as time goes on and the question gets asked more and more and more, is I'm reminded that one day I'm not going to be here. One day that, the voice that you're hearing right now, you can't get any more voice from him because he's going to be gone. It's going to be an interesting situation where one of these days, whoever's left on this planet after I'm gone has nothing but the things that I've chosen to document. And that's crazy. That's and so it makes me think. It makes me think about, like, how can I be more intentional with my life? What can I do to make dang sure that when I go, I've done all that I can do and all that I wanted to do. Anything that I dreamt or desired to do, it got accomplished, within reason, right? And that's something that I've been really heavily contemplating. And so I started to seek guidance even. I started to really soul search and deep dig deep within myself through prayer, meditation, self-observation. And I come up with a bunch of different things, but I felt like there was more for me to figure out. For more to me, I wanted new concepts, new ideas, I wanted someone else's, an outside opinion. And so I started to turn to people who are older, smarter, seemingly, than me. And I ran into, what's his name, Jordan Peterson? Is that right? Jordan Peterson? I want to make sure that's right before I keep going with this. Jordan Peterson. If you don't know him, he is I actually don't know everything that I don't know his entire discography. I don't know. But I do know he was he was an instructor at a university. I don't know if he still is or not, but I more so see him in his philosophy and his studies of self and things of that nature. You just simply type in Jordan Peterson on YouTube and you'll find out exactly what I'm talking about. The list goes on and on and on and on about the things that he's contemplated, the things that he's thought up, and interviews he's been asked. But he is the one that I really locked onto here recently. And to be honest, I should probably know more about him than what I've given you, but here we are. I really resonate with the message that he sends. I really feel when I listen to him and I watch his speeches, I really resonate with the things that he says, and it's scary even because of how much I see myself in him. It's crazy. But he's highly intelligent, highly relatable, highly motivated, self-motivated by whatever form it is. I don't know. But it's relatable in the fact that he also has asked these questions of what's the point? What's the meaning? What can I do to add value to my life and add value to other people's lives? He's asked all these questions for himself. And inherently, he's passed on these questions and the thought patterns and the processes through video, through interviews, through, he's documented all of these things, either by his own hand or someone else documenting them for him. And he's become well known for these speeches and these thoughts and these abstract things that have turned into more so a reality. And I don't know, I just really resonate with it. And I feel like I'm getting one step closer to answering that question of what's the point? Because he did define several different things, and I might actually have to go inside because I took some notes from one of his speeches, from one of his talks. I took some notes, and I have to go to my backpack and get it. But one of the things that he really resonated with was 5 or 6 things in your life that you need to have together in order to live more so of your purpose. And I'm about to pull out the notes exactly. Okay. To psychologically thrive and have mental hygiene, you need to have these 6 things. And he talks about these in a speech or in a class setting. I can't remember which one. But number 1 is have some friends. Number 2 is have an intimate relationship with somebody you trust and has a future. Your career, have a career that puts you in some sort of dominant hierarchy. Number 4 is have a good schedule and routine. Number 5 is eat something. Eat enough food daily. Number 6 is regulate your drug and alcohol consumption. And he says you must operate reasonably on 3 to 4 of these, otherwise you will fall. You have to have 3 or 4 of these things in this list together in your life, otherwise you'll just be a cluster. It's just like a ball of chaos, essentially. And that is what really, really resonates with me, is that simple idea that you have to have some sort of value, a set of values that you live by, And these core structural things have to be so defined in you that, like, someone else coming in can't impede on your value system, basically. Like, you're so strong within your set, like what you're doing day to day. Your routine is so structured that someone coming in trying to mess it up is not gonna completely screw you over, basically. You're not gonna topple over like a cheap chair, fold like a cheap chair, right? You have to be structurally rooted like a tree, like a strong rooted tree that's been there 100 years, and a little gust of wind isn't going to blow it over. And that's exactly what I've been after. That's exactly what I've been doing. And to be honest, that's the thing that I come up with, I don't want to say on my own, but guided through meditation and through prayer. That's exactly what I found is to seek out. I was guided essentially to seek to root, plant your roots and become so rooted, become so structured that you can't be blown over quickly and easily. So basically have an identity that's yours and well-defined, and be confident within that identity and just be unwavering with that. And that's exactly the direction that I've been taking since April or May. And that's what I've been really, really working on. Getting a good structure, a good sleep cycle is so imperative to me personally. A good eating cycle, good consistent food, simple consistent food for me. I like plain food, yes. A simple wardrobe. And all of these things are relatively simple and consistent so that I can focus on things that are actually important to me. Such as spending time with my family. That is so important to me, because you never know when the last time, I have a 4-year-old. I have a little boy, and he cries for me. He asks me all the time to pick him up, all the time to sleep with me, all the time to do all these things, and I do them because you never know when the last time he's going to ask me to pick him up. Oh, and that's deep. Oh my gosh, that's super duper deep. I just want to, you never know the last time that he's going to call for daddy because he had a nightmare. You know what I mean? Can I sleep with you? Because he had a nightmare. One of these days, that's not going to be a thing anymore. So I really want to be aware and be present and be with that every time it happens. So spending time with my family, having a good solid routine in my sleep and in my workouts. I have to have a workout routine to keep my body, my mind, my soul, my spirit, all of these things intact. And honestly, that's why I draw still. It's drawing for me is the same simple, like it's a familiar way to express myself. It's similar to the way that I'm doing right now, is kind of just getting my abstract thoughts out, just kind of like thinking out loud is kind of what drawing is for me. Doodling specifically. Drawing an anime character, or creating a new character of my own, or creating a scene of some sort. It's a little different, fires on some different cylinders. But doodling, abstract doodling, allows me to kind of dig deep within myself. And by focusing on this thing, my brain kind of does wander off a little bit. And I'm able to kind of implement that into the drawing itself. Or if my brain's going nowhere and it just kind of makes lines on the paper automatically, then that's fine too. So it's a way to kind of identify where I'm at in my life and what I'm thinking at the moment. And so that's what doodling does for me. Speaking like this does the same. Writing in a journal. I keep a journal, and I have kept a journal since 2017. And I'm working on my 3rd journal now. And I filled 2, and I'm working on my 3rd one. And having that to kind of, a consistent routine of waking up in the morning with a cup of coffee and sitting on the porch, either doing any of these activities that I've mentioned before, any of these activities, just sitting down and doing something productive towards being self-aware, continues that cycle of like, it closes the gap of the question of what's the point And I have no answer for that question, because I'm getting closer and closer and closer to a realization of what it is I'm supposed to be doing. And mind you, I think I've discovered that that question is never meant to be truly answered, because the minute it's answered, I think you shut off all opportunities that come your way that aren't within that definition of what you're supposed to be doing. So what's the point is kind of an abstract question in itself. It's like a desperate grab at, why am I even here? Like when I don't know everything I can say on the internet, but like when you don't want to be here anymore, and you're sad and depressed, and you just feel, a desperate grab, a desperate attempt at finding something, some reason to live, some will to live, that question comes in, what's the point? But the more and more, well, let me back up and say that fortunately I've gone through that myself, and I've come up and out of that. I've managed to get away from those thoughts and those desperate clings of life and whatnot. Now I seek simplicity. I seek structure. I seek routines. I seek simple happiness. I seek smiles on people's faces and my own. Those types of things provide so much value that I almost forget what's the meaning of life. What's the whole point? Because this is it. This right here is the whole point. This right here is the point. You're meant to be with other people. You're meant to be so structurally sound within yourself that you can't be uprooted at all. The only thing that anybody can do to stop you is to put a gun in your head and a bullet in your brain. And that's it. That's it. That's the only thing that can stop me. And that's where I'm growing to. I had this realization that no one can stop me. I can stop me. No one else can stop. The only person that can stop me is me. And I refuse to let that happen. And so having this, I've been having these realizations, and back to Jordan's list, I resonate well with all of them. And as a matter of fact, I had all of them under control, and at the time of discovering his thing, the only thing I was missing really was that intimate relationship. Literally, that was the missing puzzle piece in his little list, his little thing. Because, and honestly, the thing I should have worked on a little bit more is my alcohol consumption. But here we are, regulating that, and so we're figuring things out. We have, I don't know, life's just good. Life's good. Let's see. I went off on a passionate tangent just now, I realize. And I'm not sorry for that, because I know that somebody listening here, one of you, one day, 6 months from now, tomorrow, who knows when I post this, someone will gain value from that, because, I did. And if it would behoove you, if you gathered some sort of information, if you don't think I'm an absolute lunatic for the way I'm speaking right now, then you should you should subscribe to Jordan Peterson and his message and the things that he says, because I have now adopted him as my latest mentor. And I've gone through several of these mentors, or these people that I look up to, and adopted that mindset of, okay, these people are going to help guide me through life, through this personal problem I'm having, and whatever it is at the time, they're going to guide me. And Jordan is among the list of a lot of people that I've grown to love and grown to subscribe to. In addition to, I haven't really pushed this one for a while, but Gary Vaynerchuk, obviously, is a very highly motivated, highly productive person. And he was someone that I really, really subscribed to for a long time. But let's see. our energies don't match as of where I'm at right now in my life. He's high energy, high productivity, high performance, and I'm trying to live a simpler life than he has, if I'm being honest. I like my simplicity. I like being alone. I like being here. I don't know. I don't like his chaos. I don't resonate with his chaos, essentially. Another person that I've subscribed to is Dave Ramsey, and his message about money, his ideas with money. Not ideas, his structure that he's developed with money is top tier, top notch. It's not the flashy kind. It's not the big, pretty, whatever. It resonates well with me in the structured system of if you do this and this and this every single day and adopt this mindset about money and about life, you will succeed. You will win. It's not big, pretty, flashy. It's not $200 million over the course of a weekend. It's nothing like that. It's not empty promises and broken dreams and type of thing. It's literally showing up, doing what you're supposed to do from the day to day, put more money back than you spend, or incrementally put money back, save it, invest it, put it in a spot, have a rainy day fund, those types of things that it gets you out of this rat race. It gets you out of the idea, out of the concept of living paycheck to paycheck, living day to day, not knowing how you're going to pay your bills, or paying your bills and not knowing how you're going to frickin' eat. So he's one to subscribe to for that, for sure, Dave Ramsey. And then Jordan Peterson. And then a bunch of other philosophy-related channels that I subscribe to. And also some form of escape. For me, and by escape, I mean some sort of thing that breaks you away from reality. Because you can't always constantly be plugged in to reality. You can't always constantly be plugged in to these wholehearted questions, yes, but at the same time, it's you can't always be clocked in at work, basically. You have to have some time off. You have to have some time to spend with your family. You have to have a weekend. You have to have your phone can only go so far without it being plugged into the wall, right? You have to basically have this thing where you stop, you take a minute, you take a day, you take a month, you take a year, and plug in to something that allows you to break away from the mundane, break away from the routine, break away from reality, essentially. And examples for me, outside of art, drawing, speaking, all these things I've already talked about, is video games and anime. Those are the things that do it for me. If I want to not think for a while, I just want information or entertainment thrown at me and just push through my noggin, just seep through my eyeballs. That's where I go. I turn to anime and I turn to video games. More so anime. I used to be a pretty big gamer, but not so much anymore. You will catch me buying the latest Pokemon game, the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Probably going to buy Pearl, so get with it. I'm definitely going to buy Arceus when it comes out. So, other than that, I don't know. Not too big on gaming, but anime is definitely a source of inspiration for me, and where I get my ideas and the concepts and the color theories and the beautiful animations and the drawing and the understanding, motion picture is just incredible. Oh my gosh, it's so inspiring. And it pushes me. It's a completely separate medium from what what I do, but it's enough, I can pull enough inspiration from there, and it's different enough where if I consume this, it doesn't feel like I'm doing my thing, I'm away from my thing, escaping. And also, actually, my little family and I went to a ballet yesterday. We went to a ballet, and that is something new for me. It's a performing arts that I'm gonna start considering as an escape, as an option of storytelling, as an option of a source of inspiration of sorts. Because we went and watched the Nutcracker. The performance was the Nutcracker, and it was inspiring in the sense that watching these children run around acting, and these teenagers and these kids and these adults, all of them, everybody, just like, there was ballets, there was, like I don't know how to describe it, but there's like girls spinning around in circles in their little tutus, and there's like dudes behind them like throwing them in the air and stuff. Like that's wild. It's crazy. And there's these kids like running around and like painting this picture, telling the story without words, just with their motions and their dancing and the music and the lighting and the stage. And it was incredible. My Lord, it was so incredible, so inspiring. So much so that like I might even encourage my son to do something like this, because he enjoys Spider-Man, and he enjoys dressing up as Spider-Man and getting into character with that. And when this little boy puts on this Spider-Man costume, he is no longer Asher. As a matter of fact, he's never Asher. He is Peter Parker, always. He asked me to always call him Peter Parker constantly. And when he puts on that suit, he isn't Peter Parker anymore. He is Spider-Man, completely engulfed in that character. So that might be, something of the performing arts might be something down his alley. Something I should probably guide him and direct him and show him, introduce him to things. And that's another thing that I've kind of considered and contemplated is being a dad, and that whole what's the point thing is, where should I take that? What should I take from my own personal rearing, and how should I change it? What direction should I, take Asher? How should I guide him that is similar and different and just tailored to him, to the point where he can be as successful and set up for life? And, well, I mean, that's it. It's just, how can he be set up for life in the best way possible? And it's my job to do that. It's my job. The ultimate job of a human being is to set up another human being for life. That's wild. That's crazy. Like our whole existence in its most primal state is to reproduce, to keep this thing moving, right? You gotta have more people on this planet to perform and to produce and to keep these wheels turning. You know what I mean? Has to be more humans here. And one day you're not gonna be here, so you have to produce more of them. So here I am, I've produced one who can now then go along and produce another, because he's a male. He can go do whatever he wants, essentially, It's my job to set him up so where he's not a complete loser in life. He's a winner. That's one of my biggest objectives in life, is to make sure this little boy is set up for life. But in a way that's not me not reflecting, imposing myself on him. Like, I wanted to be a baseball star, so I'm going to make him a baseball star. No, it's this little boy watches his daddy do push-ups on the floor, and so he gets down on his hands and knees and does little baby push-ups with me. Or this little boy likes to do Spider-Man, so he dresses up in his little costume, and I take and run with those things. I want to take those things and apply that to his life and give it to him. Give him a thing, like I'm suggesting this for you because you would most definitely benefit from this. Or I am forcing you. I don't want to force him to do anything. I am I'm guiding you to do this because this will benefit you. You might not want to do it as an 8-year-old, but you'll thank me later as a 17-year-old kid who's highly capable and worth a lot more than his peers. A lot more value than his peers, because I made him do a thing. Or gave him a set of values. Implemented these core values into his life so that he has some sort of value. But that's the tricky part. What if he doesn't take to these things? What if he defies these core values of mine? Because I don't like everything my dad taught me. There's a handful of things that I took and I kept and I ran with and I'm ever grateful for, but most of the things that he taught me, I don't subscribe to. I don't like it at all. And I know it hurts his heart and it hurts his feelings, but at the same time, he never asked me. You know what I mean? So that's where I have to sit down with my son and make sure that it's got to be a healthy mix of, son, this is what we're doing because it's best for you. And son, what would you like to do because you deserve to have a say-so. You know what I mean? It's a good little... We're at a good starting point with that. We're at a good thought pattern with that. We have some growth to do. We as in me. It's just a thing. So I'm gonna work on it. It's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be an extensive, lifelong journey, I suppose. And that's it. And I think these couple of topics that I've hit on today have been, number one, things that I've spoken on before. So if you have been here for a little while and you like to watch these and you sit here with me and actually listen to these things, then you've probably heard me say a couple of these things already. And if not, hello, my name is Hunter. Yes, hi, I'm here. Right? But I think today, I think that was good. That was good for me. I think what just happened is good. Sitting here, it's still raining. It's nice, actually. It's not too... The wind isn't bad at all. It's not even blowing. It's overcast. It's nice. This nice little sprinkle. But I do have a job to do. I have work. I have a regular job. Not a regular job. I have a job that pays me. And I have duties that I have to uphold for this said job. And I have to go now. So I'm going to bid you farewell with this. I'm going to wish you a good day. I want you to take the time today. I would like you to be... Let's see. How can we implement this? How can we implement this? Take the time. Actually, I want you to take those 6 things that I said. That list. I'll read it off again. I'm going to go get the list so I can read it. I want you to take this list and analyze in your life how does your life play with these things? Like, do you have a good routine? Do you have all these things implemented in your life? And how can you make these better so that you can be at peak performance, essentially? And again, I'm going to have to go back in this little sketchbook that I have. All right, here we go. Have some friends. Have an intimate relationship with someone you trust. Have a career that puts you in some sort of dominant hierarchy. Have a good schedule and routine. Eat something. Eat enough food every day. Regulate your drug and alcohol consumption. Take those things, write that down, and analyze how does that fit in your life, and really take that into consideration of what can you do to better that, right? Because hopefully you took some of that, take some of that and resonate with it a little bit. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for listening, watching. I will see you later. See you next time. Goodbye.